In theory, the Welsh Assembly doesn't have a role in the general election. But Wales's dependency for the most part on money from Westminster gives politicians here ample opportunity to get in on the act.
Yes.
When we caught up with Labour's First Minister in the Valleys, he was facing criticism over the issues that many here want resolved.
Infrastructure for Wales.
Yes.
But it's horrendous every day, isn't it?
Labour have held power here since devolution 20 years ago, an enviable winning streak.
Do you ever fear that you slightly take the people of Wales for granted?
Look, I say and always say to the people we work with, we take no votes for granted. We have to earn the support we have in Wales. At every single election, we have to be out there talking, persuading, listening, reinforcing that relationship.
The Conservatives sniff a changing tide. Because Wales voted to leave, in Porthcawl the Tory leader believes Brexit puts him on the front foot, although there are those who need persuading.
The only way to get Brexit done now, in my view, is to vote Conservative, because obviously...
the Brexit Party.
There is potential for a seismic political shift here, but
Wales is fundamentally still a Labour nation.
Well, we've got a lot of hard work to do to persuade people to vote for us, but I think our message is absolutely clear. We want to get Brexit done so that we can actually move forward as a country, so that we can start investing in our public services.
The Lib Dems are in fourth place in Wales. Their Remain policy isn't convincing everyone.
Benny. Hello, sir. Do you want to talk to me instead of...
No, not particularly.
The Leave vote may make life tough for her party.
Are you going to make gains here?
We are going to make gains. We certainly are seeing that the Remain alliance is going to make gains so that we can have that Remain position and so that we can avoid a no-deal Brexit, because that would be a disaster. I really hope that we are listening to those people who felt so disenfranchised, and I think they felt disenfranchised long before the vote in 2016.
Unlike Scotland, there's little appetite for Wales to go it alone. Plaid Cymru are optimistic that this election will finally see their fortunes change. But they often say that and somehow fail to really meet the expectation.
Historic change will not come, just in one fell swoop. It's a process. And that process is starting in Wales. There's a rising sense of self-confidence. And I think the question at the heart of this election, will that greater self-confidence, the fact that people are prepared to admit that they're indie curious, they're looking at it, they're interested in it, will that actually also translate into greater votes?
Despite the campaign noise, the political currents here normally flow with Labour. But the polls suggest that this time, when the results are returned, there may be significantly more than a ripple of change.
And Rupert is with me now. Now, we've got a new poll from ITV News which suggests that there really could be about to be big changes in this area.
I'm going to manage your expectations a little bit, but the answer is yes. And the reason for managing expectations, I feel like we're often in this situation where you come into the run-up to an election, people think, is Wales going to change from Labour? And then somehow it doesn't happen. But there is a poll today from our colleagues at ITV Wales, from Cardiff University, done by YouGov, that suggests we might be in for something fairly seismic. Now, as you mentioned earlier, Labour have 28 seats in Wales. It is possible, according to this poll, that might reduce to 20, giving them half of the overall seats in Wales. And the winners out of all of that would be the Conservatives, going up from 8 to 16. Now, if that were to happen, and it is a big if, then it would mean that the Conservatives would have the largest vote share here in Wales, going as far back as 1900. And Labour would have the lowest number of seats here, going back into the 80s. But of course, there were a slightly different number of seats there. So ifs, buts and maybes for what happens in Wales. But I think it is genuinely entirely possible this time. And part of that is to do with Brexit. Of course, Wales voted to get out. And part of that is probably to do with dissatisfaction over the national Labour, over Jeremy Corbyn as well. Of course, Labour has its own Welsh government here as well. So what are we looking at come Friday morning? Well, it's possible that we wake up, we have a look at the results in Wales and go, wow.